और 1 बजे के बाद सभी कार सेवक अंदर घुस जाएंगे मंदिर के अंदर अभी अंदर और क्या
All expectations on this celebrated date or the time on the 6th of December was Kar Seva.
And it was meant to be just a ceremony and nothing more. No construction was to take place, no destruction was to take place.
It was all going swimmingly well, everything was peaceful, there was chanting and pujas and havans and all these things. And
suddenly, two boys ran up one of the domes of the mosque.
It appeared quite random at that time, but there was clearly there was method in the madness, and people speaking of 12 baje tak ka intezar kijiye.
To bring down that structure, you need huge machinery to bring down, but it was just amazing how these guys did it.
In the rallies that I had been attending with Advani, every rally that he would attend, he would end by asking everyone in the crowd to take a pledge कि कसम राम की खाते हैं, मंदिर वहीं बनाएंगे. Uma Bharti was there, and Pramod Mahajan was there giving one speech after another. Basically, Uma Bharti was saying that, telling the people that if you are men, then you must recapture your masculinity.
with her famous quote, "Ek daka aur modo, Babri Masjid thodo."
As many as 15,000 people camped just near the mosque. And these people surged forward like a great wave. They broke through the police cordons and then started swarming all over the dome and then over the rest of it.
While this was happening, naturally the cameramen and the photographers were running towards the masjid to kind of take pictures of it. There were people who decided to attack them.
And the idea was to just shut down documentation. Cameras were snatched, tapes were picked up, note paper, and we were essentially disabled and put out of the scene.
I have covered militancy in Kashmir, I have covered militancy in Punjab, but the kind of the scared I was covering this assignment, I never felt that scared in covering Kashmir or Punjab.
When the attacks began on journalists, the hunt won. They kept hunting, screaming for Mark Talley.
They were shouting at me angrily because I had reported on the BBC what had been happening.
I decided to go inside the mosque to see what was going on. So when I was inside, the men started assaulting me. And one of them started shouting, "Musalman, Musalman." And there were hands, "Kill her, kill her." And hands began to reach out to strangle me. While they were trying to strangle me, they were also sexually assaulting me. So somebody is pinching my breast, someone is poking my waist, other private parts, and I couldn't get the words out to say anything, and I was literally seconds away from death.
At 12 o'clock, almost again like clockwork, the central security forces who were posted inside to guard the mosque all just left the premises.
One can see them just walking away. They did not do anything to stop them.
I was utterly disgusted by the slogans which were shouted about Muslims. I thought the whole incident was utterly deplorable, and I thought the feebleness of the response of the administration was simply disgraceful.
I went to Advani and I said that, Advani ji, they are attacking women, they are attacking journalists. Please ask your people to announce on the mic not to attack women and journalists. So he said, "But this is such a historic day, forget about what happened to you. Celebrate, eat something sweet."
As the 3 domes were leveled and it was 5:30, we saw tunnels of smoke coming from, emerging over Ayodhya's otherwise very beautiful skyline, and those are the Muslim pockets.
I said, whose houses are these burning, which you were watching through your binoculars? So he says, "Oh, these are Muslims burning their own homes for compensation from the government."
Vajpayee later says that, we had no control of the crowd. That is not really true.
15,000 पूरा जितना तो पूरा कंट्रोल कर सकता था पहले से
बिना किसी खून खराबा के।
कंट्रोल आराम से कर सकते।
क्या करते आप? टीयर गैस करते, लाठीचार्ज,
सब कुछ कर सकते थे हम लोग।
रबर बुलेट्स,
सब
तैयारी थी यहाँ पे?
पूरा सब कुछ तैयार था, किंतु गवर्नमेंट से कुछ ऑर्डर नहीं है।
Vajpayee invited me for a cup of tea, and I went, and he said, "You're a girl from a good family, and you should stop saying what happened to you." So I said, I'm willing to stop saying what happened to me if BJP issues a public apology.
Of course, later Mr. Advani talks about it being a black day, a dark day, something that he regretted, but none of which was heard on the loudspeaker. At best, some of them may not have exhorted people to damage more, but they stood by, watched, and perhaps encouraged by default.